A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi alladhi anzala ala abdil kitaba wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaja. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin for spending our life to see yet another exciting edition of Eternal Bliss, a program put together by Nasrullah Al-Fatih Society to educate the world about the Deen of Islam. My name is Kafayat Oyewo Oyeleri, and today I have an important personality who will be discussing a very important topic with me. And so I am very delighted to introduce Alaja Sadia Onike Aziz, the Dawa Coordinator for Women, Nasrullah Al-Fatih Society. She's a renowned Dawa worker in Nigeria. Alaja Sadia, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You are highly welcome. It's my pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here too.
MashaAllah. Congratulations for joining us today, because I know you are going to learn so much from her. May Allah continue to preserve her for the Deen. Today we will be discussing the topic women rights in Islam. Okay, stay tuned as we go for a very short break. Don't go anywhere. So welcome back. Like I said, just joining us in another edition of Eternal Bliss, and I have right here with me Alaja Sadia Onike Aziz. Today we want to discuss women's rights in Islam. So I'm going to take the first question. What does Islam say about human rights in the first place? Human rights. Knowing fully well that most of the time when we hear the word human right, many people do not even want to associate with this, especially in Islam.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, viewers at home. The topic, human rights. What is human rights? Does Islam have anything to do with human rights? Yes. What does human rights mean? Human rights is talking about inalienable things that belongs to you because you are a human. These rights are inalienable. What do we mean by that? It's not somebody that is giving you. It's something Allah has created with you because you're human. So it is yours. It is inbuilt. It is part of your creation that Allah created you with that right. Allah created all His creations with their rights. All living things, even non-living things, we are supposed to respect them because they have their rights. Animals have their rights. Plants have their rights. Humans have their rights in Islam. Look at, let's say for example, when during Eid that we are killing our rams, we have a lot of rules and regulations according to Sharia, isn't it? Yeah. Don't sharpen the knife in front of the animal. Cut sharp, fast. All these basically is to respect the right of that animal. That animal has a right. Islam enjoins you not to keep animals in cages. Let them walk about freely. And when you keep them in cages, you must feed them. All this because they have the right to live a free life, not to be confined to a particular place. When we have maybe defensive wars or anything, Islam explains that farmland should not be destroyed. Why? Because plants have their rights. So all this, so if Allah has given rights to animals, giving rights to plants, then you now start talking about humans. That you have in the Quran, Allah saying He has honored the sons of Adam. Bani Adam. That Allah said He has honored the sons of Adam. He has given them rights for them to be able to live in this world in a good way. So you are supposed to respect my right. I'm supposed to respect your right as a human being. And these rights are inborn. It is not somebody giving you. It is what Allah has created you with. It is not alien to you. It is part of you as a human being. So whether you're a Muslim or not, Allah has created you with those rights.
So with the way you have responded to this question, so since you are saying that there are indicators that Islam actually aligns with the so-called human rights?
Of course, there are a lot of indications that if you look at Sharia, for instance, we say basically Sharia is all about, promotion of benefits and removal of harm. That Sharia basically, what it's all about is promotion of benefits and removal of harm. And there, that will take us to talking about the maqasid of Sharia, the objectives of Sharia, the purpose of Sharia. That if you look at these 5 major things that have been stated under objectives of Sharia: protection of deen, protection of life, protection of life, protection of wealth, protection of the mind. If we look at these 5 major areas, that Islam is telling you protect, preserve your deen. Man has a right to his deen. And that is the reason why Allah in Quran chapter 2 verse 256 is saying La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in religion. And look at also what also told the Prophet to tell the polytheists then. Lakum dinukum waliya din. You have a right to your religion, I have a right to my religion. To you is your religion, to me is my religion. So, protection of deen, preservation of deen is stating, and if you expand it, it is going to show that people have a right to practice whatever religion they believe in. Now, Allah will even tell you not to curse what others are worshipping, because in retaliation they want to curse who you are worshipping. Protection of life. Allah has put in place a lot of laws to talk about the protection of life. So when you talk about the protection of life, you are talking about all the things Allah has put in place. Like if you kill a soul, it's like you have killed a nation. If you protect the life of a soul, it's like you have protected the life of a nation. So all these indicators, protecting the mind, the Quran is telling us to seek knowledge. To seek knowledge. Knowledge is important. The Prophet ﷺ told us that Talabu ilmi faridatu ala kulli Muslim. So but both men and women, knowledge is important. Why? To protect the mind. Do not take alcohol to protect the mind.
All right. I'll need us to quickly run through some rights of women, because that's where I guess we have a lot of controversies. There are thousands of controversial issues when it comes to women. Also, I need you to mention some of the rights of women in Islam.
Now, when you talk about the rights of women in Islam, if Allah says He has honored the sons of Adam, that also includes women, that He has also honored women. Then, if in the maqasid of Sharia, we are meant to believe that we need to protect our deen, we need to protect our life, our mind, and the rest of it, our wealth, our family, all these things does not put women at the background. It is also including the rights of women, because women are also human. So if Allah is protecting the life of human beings, women are inclusive. For instance, talking about knowledge that I spoke about before. If today, the human rights attribute, the human rights people, because whenever we hear human rights, we think it is Western, whereas it is from our Creator Himself that He created us with all these rights. That when they say, okay, right to education, right to life, right to this, is it not in compliance with maqasid of Sharia? Maqasid of Sharia is saying protecting the mind. And that protection of mind says you should seek knowledge. Don't take alcohol that will disrupt your mind, that will make you do things you are not supposed to do. All these rights also apply to women. The right to work.
Okay. Yes. You just mentioned right to education
yes.
when you quoted Talab al-Ilmi Farid also. So I like where we are right now. That's the right to
so work. Women can go for education, just like men can also learn. Women can learn. If you look at the
work, I want us to go to work. I think there's more knowledge. People are getting more reasonable when it comes to educating the girl child. Though we still have a lot of issues around it, and I know a lot of NGOs that are working on such. But I need us to now talk about right to work.
The thing is, what I want to clear concerning knowledge, concerning knowledge is that it is very key for the woman to get education.
Sure.
And Islam has corroborated this. That the first school a child have contact with is the woman, is the mother. So that mother must be educated, and Islam supports this. So Islam is not saying women should not get education. But if you look even our renowned scholars,
yes, because there are quite a number of people that are hiding under religion, and then they are keeping the girl child, stating the hadith that says the second menstruation.
Yes, I wanted to mention that even our renowned scholars, our renowned imams, Imam Maliki and the rest of them, had women as their teachers.
Allah.
Nafisa, the granddaughter of Ali, was one of the teachers of Imam Maliki, Imam Shafi'i. So all these are there. Then the right to work. Islam is saying everybody must be productive. Islam encourages productivity. That Islam does not encourage begging. It is not just for men alone, but also for women. Women are also expected to work. The wives of the Prophet worked when they were alive. Yes, they worked. When the Prophet ﷺ was passing, about to die, he said the first among his wives that would join him will be the one with the longest hand. And people were like, oh, what does that mean? Eventually they got to know that the one with the longest hand was the one who worked, apart from the things the state was giving to them as the wives of the Prophet, this woman worked among the wives, worked so hard to gather more wealth, which she shared, gave out as charity. And what the Prophet meant by that long hand was the one that gives the most charity. And that was Hafsa. So she was the first. So if the women were not supposed to work, the wives of the Prophet will not work.
What yes. Khadija that used a lot of her wealth to promote herself.
Exactly. Yeah. She was a trader. The Prophet even worked for her. Helped her to handle her wealth. So women worked during the time of the Prophet. Women are expected to work. The only thing is we want them to balance their work with the family life. We do not want them to give all their all to just work and leave the family hanging. Because the Makassid also speaks to what? Protection of the family, for our society not to rot away.
Okay, so I'll need us to take a lot of time when it comes to rights to inheritance. Please kindly give us some explanations, because here we also have a lot of controversial issues. Yes. Where people say, does it mean that women are inferior because they get a smaller share when it comes to inheritance?
Thank you so much. If you look at the issue of inheritance, Islam is the only institution that has given women the right to inheritance. If you look at our societies, our cultural societies, what do you see? In some cultures, the eldest son inherits all. In some cultures, they don't even mention women at all. But what does Islam say? Islam mentioned it in Surah An-Nisa. Go to verse 10, 11, 12. You see where the Quranic heirs were mentioned, and you have women among them. And the controversy surrounding the daughter getting one, while the son gets double what the daughter gets. If you look, you need to understand what criteria Islam uses in giving out inheritance. Number one, Sharia will look at the nearness to the disease in blood. Then responsibility. It is believed in Islam that Rijaluna Kawamuna Ala Nisa, isn't it? Yes. That the man has a lot of responsibility. The man is supposed to provide for the woman. So that is why in that inheritance, the male is given two, the female is given one, because the male still spends out of the double he gets on the woman. So the criteria for sharing. Then if you look at other areas, we have situations where when the women we are talking about now, are they only daughters? We have women that are mothers. We have women that are sisters. All these people get different shares, yes, according to how close they are to the disease. A disease that dies, that does not have children, when the inheritance is shared, you find some of the female relatives getting more than the male relatives of hers.
Then it is also believed that the woman can also inherit her own husband.
Of course.
So knowing fully well that once you get an inheritance in your father's house, it's still possible that you still get inheritance in
from
your
the
husband's
husband.
Exactly. So making it look like you're even getting so much more.
Double, yes, more than double even. So the woman is favored in Islam. The woman is not oppressed. The woman is not left behind. The woman is highly favored in Islam. So you have a lot of rights that Allah has given women. That the Prophet ﷺ, among his last farewell messages, was like, be good to your women. I am the best to my wives. Be good to your... So part of his farewell message to the companions. Be good to your women. Be good to your women. And this is because of the respect, the love Islam has for women. Some people will say, okay, chapter was dedicated to women, so and so. But then, beyond all this, Islam has given women a lot of rights that he has also given men. Because when you're talking about spirituality, Islam is not going to use a different criteria to judge women.
No.
It is the same criteria, and both men and women have equal right to attain spiritual level. So when you're talking about Salat, talking about Hajj, talking about all these spiritual activities, women have the same chance as men. So there is no segregation, there is no discrimination in these areas.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, it is clearly stated in the Quran. When Allah speaks to the male, He also speaks to the female. Wal Muslimin, wal Muslimat, wal Mu'minin, wal Mu'minat, wal Qanitin, wal Qanitat, like that. So it is obvious that whatever goes for the man goes for the woman most of the time. Inshallah. Thank you very much for giving us an insight to this very beautiful topic. Okay, so how do we ensure that our rights is not violated? Do we have to fight for it? Do we have to go violent? How do we ensure that it is not violated?
You know, what I'll say here is that this right is not just claiming rights, but responsibility. We all have our responsibility towards these rights. That you are somewhere and you see the right of a person being violated, you're supposed to take action.
When we see something,
say something and also do something. So our responsibility is to ensure that in our community we do all that is right and forbid all that is wrong. That wherever we see these rights being trampled upon, we can rise up. We can help our sister in Islam. A lot of things have been put in place. So many religious institutions. We have places where people can go to within the religion. For instance, within NASFAT, we have the legal team. We have the women team, and we have the counseling team, that whenever you see these things taking place, and we also have the missionary, that these things can be tabled before them and they can come to the rescue of the person involved. Then also Lagos State has a lot of things put in place, and we have a lot of NGOs working with on this that NASFAT is also collaborating with. So it is not a matter of I want to seize my right with force. No. It is everyone getting to understand their right, and you respecting the rights of the other, and we also taking responsibility to ensure that these rights are respected. And if there is a call for us to action, we rise up to action to protect our
Mashallah, thank you very much. Yes, there was even a time when NASFAT collaborated with UNICEF to launch a campaign against violence against women and girls.
And we also have the Kata Center program too, with NASFAT, all on mobilizing faith for women and girls.
Mashallah. So on this note, I think we need to also mention the part where the society is bullying our girls that are using the hijab, when we know fully well that they have the right to religion, the right to use their hijabs.
Among the rights, we have right to religion. It is not just the right to practice your religion, but the right to totally practice your religion. So the populace, the society needs knowledge for them to know that you have no right to trample on the rights of others. The right to religion, that a woman, a matured lady in Islam, is expected to cover herself. And there has been a lot of agitation, a lot of fight, a lot of clamor for this. And alhamdulillah, it has yielded a lot of results. We have, and you don't see Muslims going on the street to say they are fighting for or they are being radical about it. No. We know legally, you go to the courts, and that has helped a lot. Our girls are now allowed, legally to wear their hijab. And it is onus on everybody to follow this and respect the court injunction. So a lot of fights are still ongoing. The UI girls, the UI secondary school girls, a lot of Fidauza Amasa also did hers concerning the law school, and a lot of success has been recorded in this regard.
So this is an opportunity as a reminder to everybody in the society that hijab should not be bullied, should not be worked against. Yes, we do not work against the hijab. We are using this opportunity to call on the entire populace to stop bullying our girls in hijab whenever they are going out to write external examinations. Do not put them through any form of emotional torture, because they are covering their hijab, because they have the right to it, they have the right to religion. But there's one particular right that we need us to really discuss, because it's been so controversial. Do women have the right to wealth? Can women own properties? Besides, if a woman decides to own these properties, is there any etiquette as regards what her husband should know and what's not so? In her own name.
Okay. Can a woman own wealth? Yes. Islam generally speaks about the right to wealth, talking about the maqasid, that Islam has protected the wealth of people, and that is the reason why there's punishment for theft. So, and this does not remove the right of the woman to own wealth too. Islam is not saying this wealth we are talking about is only for men. A good example is our mother of Islam, Sayyidina Khadija. She was a trader. She was a trader. She had money. She owned her own wealth. That even employed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who worked for her. So a lot of other women too have worked, and we said Islam encourages productivity. This also includes women. But can a woman own this wealth without the husband's knowledge? It shouldn't be. The woman is not supposed to own a way that the husband cannot know. It is not right in Islam. Because in Islam, the woman and the man are together. Allah said they are now been binded together to live together in tranquility with mercy, isn't it? So there shouldn't be those secrecy between them. Now, whatever that woman is having, the man should also know. We are talking about a healthy situation. A healthy situation. Yes, the husband is expected to know. But you find some situations where maybe due to the behavior of the husband, the woman feels she doesn't need to let the man know. But ideally in Islam, a woman can own her own wealth. That is why she can also be inherited. That is why when she dies, the man can inherit her and people can also inherit her. If she cannot own wealth, then what is
there to inherit?
There to inherit.
Yes.
So ideally, we talk about the ideal in Islam is that the woman should let the man know all she has. Just like the man too should let the woman know all he has. So they're supposed to live together as one in tranquility, living with the mercy of Allah. So they're supposed to let each other know what they own, what they have. Because what we have seen is some people die and the family will not know they own land somewhere or have an account somewhere. And what happens at the end of the day? These things will not be beneficial to the families they leave behind. So there's no reason in Islam for a woman to keep away her wealth from her husband. Whatever is unhealthy in the family should be looked into, solved for a good society to prevail.
Mashallah. So it means you also agree to the general assertion that says that, permit me to say this in Yoruba, Owo obìnrin owó ẹ̀yìn, but owó ọkùnrin owó wa ni.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà, owó obìnrin náà in our present day society ti ń dowó wa. Because you hardly find a home where obìnrin náà ní nípa kan tó ń kó. So obìnrin ń kópa, ọkùnrin ń kópa. So ayé ìta bá fẹ́ ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ náà ni owó obìnrin tiẹ̀ ni, owó ọkùnrin tiwa. Ìsìn àtowó obìnrin àtowó ọkùnrin ti gbogbo wa ni àjọ náà káyé ó lè dùn.
Yes, mashallah, jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much. It has been a very wonderful session. And so I want to remind us that Nasrullah Fati Society holds iftar with dignitaries every day, for the first 20 days of Ramadan. And at the same time, we also have the daily iftar program where we feed a mouth. And this one is splitted to different mosques in Lagos. On Saturday, 30th March 2024, we will also be having the iftar with the media radio at Radio Lagos Agidingbi Ikeja. Once again, Elijah Sadiat Unike Aziz, Jazakumullahu khairan for being part of today's event program. May Allah continue to preserve you for the best.
Thank you so much. It's really a big pleasure to be here to share all this with our audience. Jazakumullah khairan.
Amen. May Allah continue to preserve you for the deen. And we do not take this for granted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once again, my name is Kafayat Oyewo Oyelere. See you tomorrow, inshallah, because like same time, same station, when we will be discussing another very wonderful topic as regard Islam, inshallah, on the beautiful program Eternal Bliss. Till then, stay blessed. Masalam wa ilaikum.
يا حي يا قيوم على لا إله وكل يا حي يا قيوم